What's up, everybody? How the hell are you doing? Thanks again for tuning into yet another amazing Crash Bang Boom podcast episode. Today is drummer Matt Bowles, who plays in the band Byzantine. I was able to catch up with Matt at Byzantine's scorching gig that they played at St. Vitus recently. Thanks, as always, St. Vitus for putting on so many killer shows and for hooking up so many killer interviews. Helping me out with that. But it was really fun catching up with Matt. We got into all sorts of fun shit, not the least of which was how he got the Byzantine gig, and being a fan of them for years prior to landing said gig. The bizarre life cycle of actual cicadas. Of course, the reference there being their most recent record, and killer record at that, The Cicada Tree. We talk about acid and shroom trips and general stories of getting weird in the woods, UFOs and bull mastiffs, huffing gas and playing in jam bands. And the process of tracking drums and recording the record in general for the Cicada Tree, and all sorts of good shit and bizarro rants. You know what I'm saying? Stop. Sponsor time. If you're looking at printing vinyl for your project, give my sponsor a shout out at NewOrleansRecordPress.com. I apparently read today that in the New York Times, as a matter of fact, which is very credible depending on who you talk to, that putting out vinyl significantly increases your chance of getting laid. And, that works across the board, apparently. So, New York Times said it. Apparently it must be true. So if you're struggling in the sexual department or simply want to up your numbers, you might want to consider putting out some vinyl. And no better place to start than NewOrleansRecordPress.com. Go get you some of that shit. And now, for whitewater rafting on acid. Here we go, y'all. Crash, bang, boom.
Crowds go mad with joy.
All right, Matt Bowles, what's happening, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing good.
You enjoying New York, man?
Yeah, this is my second time being in New York.
Okay.
We was in New York for the Sacred Reich tour, played at the Gramercy. Didn't have really any time to explore or anything like that.
Yeah.
I've done more exploring tonight than I did then, but ate some good food, drank some good beer.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a good place to start. Now, when y'all came here with Sacred Reich, where'd y'all play?
The Gramercy.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And that's big
Yeah.
ass room, yeah.
Fuck yeah, it is. That's awesome.
But it was fun, you know.
Yeah.
We played a lot of big rooms on that tour, bigger than I've ever played, you know.
Right.
So it was interesting. It was fun.
Nice. Were you a fan of Sacred Reich growing up?
I wasn't actually. It's just, you know, I'm 30.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh man, I'm old enough. Well, not. I was gonna say I'm old enough to be your father. Almost. Yeah.
Like, you know, everybody else in the band, you know, and they're in their early 40s and everything. So
Yeah.
they came up on that. I didn't.
Yeah.
You know, I really didn't. But I went back and listened, you know, like when it said we're going on tour with them and everything. And it was like, you know, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
These guys kick ass. And, you know, it was even more so the first time we saw them live at the first show, you know, and it was like, these guys fucking rule.
Yeah.
You know, like they're solid. Very
Yeah.
solid. Very, very tight.
Wow, my young teenager self was super into Sacred Reich and all that shit growing up. So
Yeah.
I would have been fanboying for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
They're good guys too, man. All
Nice.
of them. Yeah, very nice.
How
very
long were
nice.
you on that tour with them?
Damn near a month.
Really?
Yeah, it was like, I think we was gone from home a month, but it was like 3.5 weeks.
Nice.
Something like that was the tour. Their tour, it continued on, you know, because they're from Arizona.
Right.
And so we started in L.A., went around the U.S. We stopped in Texas and came back because financially it would make sense to
Right.
keep going, and we'd be spending
Yeah.
way more money coming back. So
Fuck yeah.
we left from Texas. I think they had 2 more dates, maybe 3
Yeah.
after that.
And y'all are all based out of West Virginia, right?
Yeah, Charleston, West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where the guys are from. The Byzantine is from.
Yeah.
I'm from Beckley. It's about an hour south of Charleston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I'm in the area.
Gotcha. My West Virginia geography is not the sharpest. So
Right, yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
I can't blame you. Mine's not either.
And you're born and raised from there.
Right, yeah.
Holy shit! What was it like growing up there, man? Did you do fun shit? Did you do country shit? What'd you do?
Yeah, I mean, you know, huff gas, whatever. I've done that a couple times, But I wouldn't say that I'm really all that crazy myself. I know people that did do those kind of things.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, I mean, it's just one of those places. It's simple.
Right.
People there are good people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good people. There's a lot of not so good people.
Some shitheads there,
Yeah.
here and there.
But you get that everywhere, I guess.
No doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt.
But I can't complain. It was a good place to grow up and everything. It's not. There's no like violence really. That's rare.
Right.
You hear about shootings or murders and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Can't complain.
Right.
Can't complain.
Right. Well, how did you end up in Byzantine in the first place?
Well, I actually had 4 or 5 of my buddies message me or text me, Facebook text me, and they'd say, Byzantine's looking for a drummer. You should try out. So I'm like, nah, they're going to find somebody.
Right.
It's Byzantine. They're going to find somebody. So I wasn't even going to do it until about the 10th person told me to do it. And I was like, well, I'll send in my audition video. I emailed OJ about it. So I'd done my first audition video. Actually, I'd done 2 to begin with. They sent me a list, 6, 7 songs to pick from, do just one. I sent them 2.
Yeah.
And then I got through to the next round, quotation marks.
Do you know how many people total tried out?
I don't know exactly. I think it was around 30.
Holy shit,
Something
man.
like that.
That's pretty damn good.
And after the first submission that I guess everybody done, they narrowed it down to 3. And the second step was to cover Dyer's Eve by Metallica.
Oh, cool.
And I love Metallica like everybody else, but I actually wasn't familiar with that song.
Yeah.
So I actually remember the morning I woke up. I guess he emailed me late that night. I woke up one morning, rolled over, looked at my phone, had an email from OJ, and was like, all right, this is the final step. Learn a Metallica cover.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
that can't be too hard.
Right.
A Lars cover. And then I listened to the song and went, oh shit.
Well, also Lars's drumming is I've always said he embraces his sort of idiosyncratic way of playing. It's a little awkward. He kind of plays in strange ways. A lot of people like to talk shit. I don't talk shit about him being a bad drummer. I just think something about his playing is a little off, maybe a little bit or something. So I can imagine it would actually be a little tough for me to try to play like him.
It's original,
Yeah, for sure. It's him, for sure.
Doing something different.
Yeah.
And you got to respect that for
Yeah.
sure. But I just wasn't familiar with this one song.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, a run-of-the-mill Metallica song.
Right.
I'm like, all right, I can do that.
Yeah.
And then I listened to the song and was like, well, shit.
Yeah, that's a blazer.
I practiced that song probably for 2 weeks. And it came down to the deadline. I was taking as much time as they allotted me.
Right.
He gave me a deadline, a date, and it was like 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
it came up on maybe 2 days before that date. And he actually emailed me. He was like, you sending one in or what?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm just, taking my time. But I sent it to him, and I guess it was good enough. But there was still another step, I sent that to him, and then they narrowed it down to 3 to 2, and then 2 of us went and actually rehearsed with him.
Gotcha.
In person.
Damn.
So, and then that's when I was told I had it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was really cool, surreal. I'd been listening to Byzantine, honestly. Like I said, OJ's, I don't even know how old he is, 41, 42.
He's around my age, yeah.
Something,
early 40s.
So, I was in high school listening to the Byzantine's first couple records, you
Wow,
know?
yeah.
So it's really surreal to get the opportunity to, be able to play with him, you know, share the stage. It's really cool. Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because I guess Byzantine's been around, what now, 17 years or something?
Damn near.
Right?
Yeah.
Cicada Tree being the 6th record, I believe?
6th record.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Fundamental Component came out 04 or 05.
Right.
Something like that. I graduated high school in 05.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had kind of came up on them,
Yeah.
so to speak. Yeah.
So that's got to be pretty surreal then for sure.
Yeah. It was fun.
That's killer. I mean, to be 1 out of 30, I think that I'd feel pretty good about myself after that.
Especially whenever I was not even going to try out.
Right.
I was like, they'll find somebody way better than me.
Right.
And I'm sure there's plenty out there way better than me that could do it, but I just happened to be the one that showed up.
Right.
Yeah.
Something to be said for showing up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just it's the person who makes themselves available that can gets gigs in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not always the technically most proficient guy. One, if you're an asshole, it doesn't matter how great of a player you are. People aren't going to want to be in a fucking band with you because you're a fucking asshole. So that's one thing that all these guys with chops and everything that you see online that they don't ever address is like, you know, when you're practicing only in your basement, filming videos of yourself, not interacting with other people and not actually playing in bands. And then when it comes time for them to actually be in a band, no one wants to play with them because they haven't developed that skill set of actually dealing with people like a fucking human.
Yeah, I was going to say the skill set of being a person. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Seems natural, but some people are quite awkward with it. Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people like that, unfortunately.
Yes, there
are. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to get along with some people.
Right.
But I can't complain. Everybody in the band's cool.
Yeah.
You know, we all get along, you know, so it works out.
That's killer.
We don't have that problem.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bunch of easygoing West Virginia boys.
Man, we're happy, man. Give us a beer and a fucking hamburger, and we're good to go, you know?
That's amazing. Well, when did you first start getting into like heavy music? What was the gateway drug?
Oh, Lord, the gateway drug?
Yeah.
You know, I probably like any other like kid. You know, I was listening to like hip hop in 6th grade and stuff and everything. And gateway, the first thing that always comes to mind is Guns N' Roses' "Appetite for Destruction."
Fuck yeah.
You know, I got that record and I tore it up. You know,
I
probably played it till it wouldn't play no more.
Fuck yeah.
I can't really off the top of my head say where it went from there, but that was definitely probably the opening. You know, the door opening for me to get into rock music and stuff.
Absolutely.
And actually, I mean, really, like whenever I started playing music myself, I just always naturally played heavier music. Yeah. Even though I didn't really listen to heavier music at the time. So I always played heavy music. You know, I graduated listening to heavier bands and stuff later on, but I've always just played heavy. Yeah. Oh,
I mean, it's, well, once again, I mean,
subconsciously came out. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's definitely like the metal style of drumming, quote unquote, is definitely a skill set in and of itself. So, was there any particular drummer that you were into that was playing heavier music that was influencing you in your formative years, so to speak? Because, I mean, with Byzantine, you're playing a lot of double bass stuff. You're playing a lot of metal, quote-unquote, kind of drumming, you know?
I came up on a lot of Dream Theater, actually.
Okay.
Well, a lot of the tricky stuff on drums, you know, drum fills and everything, I really learned from watching Dream Theater DVDs for the most part. You know,
that's amazing.
And stuff. You know, I like anyone else my age, you know, I listen to Slipknot and shit like that.
Right.
You know, it was great, you know. But I really haven't listened to that many heavy bands growing up. It's been later in life that I got into the real heavy stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was always more of, I guess, a rock person. But that's just why it's weird. Like, subconsciously, my playing was heavy. A lot of open hi-hat, you know.
Right.
Some double bass, you know.
Yeah.
Throw in a blast beat here and there.
Right.
And don't know why I was doing it. I was just doing it. It felt right. So, you know. And it's led me to here, so I can't complain.
Right.
Yeah.
Are there any modern heavy bands that you do listen to? It sounds like you mostly, when you're not playing heavier shit like you play in Byzantine, you more enjoy listening to more rock and roll stuff. But are there any like modern heavy bands you're into?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you would even call them modern. Meshuggah.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you call that modern. They've been around for so long.
They created half of this shit.
Yeah, exactly. No,
So,
I can't get enough
they're
of
the
that.
forefathers.
I can't get enough of that. I do. I like proggy stuff better.
Yeah.
And I catch a lot of shit from the guys for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like modern prog or like Yes prog or King Crimson, like old shit?
My mom was a music lover, and Yes was one of her favorite bands, so I can't say that didn't mold me. I listened to a lot of that stuff growing up. So I definitely have to say that, you know, stuff like that molded me. You know, like Pink Floyd and everything. But, yeah, I listen to a lot of like now I listen to a lot of I like Tesseract. I like, you know, Periphery. I've been listening to this band. I don't even know how you pronounce it. It's either Polyphia or Polyphia. They're instrumental, awesome. Animals as leaders, stuff like that. I've always, like, when it comes to music, I almost don't listen like a lot of people do, like to pull an emotional string. I listen to learn.
Really?
So if I listen to a song that has everything in it that I already know, I don't really have that much interest in it.
Really?
It's good. I respect it. Good music, great music. But like, if I can't learn from it, I'm not as interested enough as I should be to go and buy the record. You know?
Yeah, I think the distinction is that you find that music more interesting when it's intellectually like stimulating.
I find it more interesting when I have no idea what they're doing.
Right. It gives you a reason to listen to it more, to delve deeper into it.
Yeah, it gives me something to pay attention to learn about, expand my mind,
right.
Expand my music.
Sure.
That's kind of what it is for me now. I guess growing up, I listened to music like everybody else. Like if I can go back and listen to stuff, like Stained and Seven Dust, stuff like that I listen to, and it pulls an emotional string, reminds me of a certain time.
Sure.
But really now, it's like if I can't learn from it, I don't listen to it. I respect anybody. Like good music is good music.
Right.
But for me personally, I listen to what I can learn from.
That's interesting. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, what brought you to the drums in the first place?
This is probably one of my earliest memories of that aspect of that question would be I want to say that it was 38 Special Blue.
Oh, that's
a
hilarious.
song Blue by 38 Special,
right.
Another band that my mom liked.
Right.
And I would set up, like books and pot pans and everything on her bed, and I'd, make a makeshift drum set and just play to whatever she was playing. But I remember that song for some reason struck me.
Huh.
Don't know why.
Yeah.
But it did.
Yeah.
And, that's when I started tapping on shit.
Right.
Yeah.
How old were you?
Oh, before I got my first drum set, probably third grade.
Wow.
Maybe fourth grade. I got my first drum set in fifth grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were like 9, 10 years old? 10, 11?
Yeah,
like that?
10, 11.
Around there?
Yeah.
You started early, fairly early?
Yeah, I've been playing about 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which I guess is a long time for a 30-year-old,
It's I'd say it's pretty good. I'm at 27 years, so I started when I was 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, so something like that.
Kids learn better,
right.
than what adults do. If you were to wait till you're 25 and start playing, you probably wouldn't be as good as you are now.
Yeah, but also young kids coming up with instantaneous access to information and all of the essentially tutorials that are online to learn from, to physically see the mechanics of drumming has definitely advanced a younger generation of players. I've talked to younger drummers about that, and
I wished I had that growing up.
But you know what? It's fucking cool that you didn't, because you get to experience two diametrically opposed worlds, one without internet and one with.
Right.
So you can actually have an appreciation and or understanding of what it was like to not have it.
I'm definitely part of that generation.
Yeah.
That grew up without technology and with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pre-internet, pre-cell phone. That was me growing up.
Right, yeah.
It's hard to imagine that world now because we're inundated with technologies centered around phones and internet service.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dependent.
yeah,
Dependent.
yeah. It's like, to the point where now if you don't just talk your way into your phone to let GPS guide you, you're like, how do we get there again? Mm-hmm. Whereas bands were touring for years off maps and stopping at gas stations and asking for fucking directions.
I couldn't imagine.
It's hard to imagine.
We get lost with GPS on our phone,
Right.
If we had a map out, I don't know if we'd ever make a show.
Right. That's funny, man. Well, I want to talk to you about the Cicada Tree, the first record, and most recent record, and the first record you played on with Byzantine. But I was thinking about it. Well, I was thinking about one, obviously. I was thinking about the country, and then I started thinking about alien sightings, and then I started thinking about cicadas. So this is my ridiculous train of thought. And I don't know if you know much about 13 or 17-year cicadas. Do you know about their life cycle?
Well, I know of them.
Okay, so I'll give you a quick rundown. It's the most fascinating life cycle in all of nature, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So here,
oldest living insect, right?
Well, I don't know. It certainly could be, but here it is in a nutshell. So basically, when you hear what are the males making the big cicada chorus out in the country, they're attracting the females. They mate. The females go off. They only have a lifespan of a few weeks. This is the 13 and 17-year cicada specifically, but the female goes off, cuts some etches into a branch or something, lays multiple eggs. Those eggs all fall out of the trees, and then they incubate underground, sucking off root juice and all this shit for 13 to 17 years, and somehow ascend out of the ground in synchronicity all at the same time.
Just to fuck.
Yeah, but not before they crawl up a tree and crawl out of their exoskeleton, leaving their exoskeleton attached to a fucking tree, and then run off, and the life cycle starts again, and then it's another 13 to 17 years. It's fucking crazy.
Strange. It's really strange.
That's alien shit, man.
It is.
They're fucking aliens.
What's the point of that? Why that long? No other insect takes that long to grow up.
No way. And they only live for a few weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
13 Which most insects only live a few weeks.
Right.
But
they don't incubate for up to 17 years.
It is crazy.
Yeah, and then it's the synchronicity of all of them ascending out of the ground together. It's as if they're communicating.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
And you know they are.
Right. But
Yeah.
what the fuck?
At least through frequency or vibration or something. Yeah.
It's got to be.
Subconscious even.
Right,
Whatever.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So there you go.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah. I don't know if you have any weird acid stories about being out in the country, but I definitely had one where there was a mutual, I guess it's a mutual hallucination, or we're not sure. Maybe it was a UFO. But we all saw the same UFO, like jittering across the sky and coming in closer and closer to us. And then there's a little bit of a black hole in the middle of the night. But before the fucking aliens and the UFOs showed up, we found an underground tunnel of these glow in the dark bugs.
Yeah.
Fuck, maybe it was cicadas. I don't even know what the hell it was. Maybe it was them communicating. And then the aliens showed up, and there's a black hole in the middle of the night. So that's my acid story about being out in the country, fucking doing weird shit.
Nice. I've been out in the country pretty high before, but I've never done acid. It was always
Really?
shrooms. Yeah, it was always shrooms.
Oh, I've definitely had some crazy
Yeah.
mushroom nights too.
Yeah, I never saw no UFOs, but I mean, I probably saw some shit I'd say was a UFO. You know?
Yeah.
But,
Did you laugh your ass off at the very least?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, at the time I had a bull mastiff, so he had this big fat face, and the first time I did mushrooms, I remember just laughing hysterically, like we had music cranking, we were partying in the fucking house, my parents were out of town, and I was just squeezing his cheeks, and they were making the craziest noises. I was laughing hysterically, but he was cool because he was kind of getting a facial massage, you know? And meanwhile, I'm just squeezing these big fat fucking mastiff cheeks, laughing hysterically out of my mind.
He was down.
Yeah, oh, he was down. He's like, I get a face massage, you're laughing your ass off, you seem like you're fucking crazy right now, hell-bent on mushrooms, there's weird music playing, it's a party, fuck it, you know?
Yeah.
So there you go. That's one of my mushroom and my acid stories about being out in the country doing fucking hallucinogenic drugs.
Yeah, I guess actually it goes back to the question you asked me about how was it growing up in West Virginia. Well, that's what it was like. You get really fucked up and go out in the woods and see what happens, you know? And by see, I mean you're going to see some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you have any crazy, like, borderline dangerous friends growing up? I certainly did.
Yeah. I try to stay away from them.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew some crazy people.
Yeah, the craziest friend of mine was a guy that was actually from Pennsylvania, moved down to Louisiana, and I became friends with him. And he had this crazy alcoholic mother who she was just out of it. So we would always throw parties at his house because she was out of it, and we could just go crazy. There was no parental supervision whatsoever,
right.
You know. But crazy story. He actually ended up. We thought he shot himself in the head, but he was left-handed. He was shot in the right side of his head. So he told us he lived. He told us someone else came into his house and shot him. And then, so he lived. He was blinded by getting shot. He learned to read Braille, and then he died of spinal meningitis.
That's a hard way to go.
That's a hard way to go.
That's a hard way to go.
But that tough, crazy motherfucker, man, truly one of the craziest son of a bitches I've ever known in my life.
You'd have to be crazy to make it through that.
Can you believe it? And then only to die of spinal meningitis.
Yeah, just put me down.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm checking out.
Yeah, I don't want to live that experience.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
It's a funny thing, man. Spare time, which is what you have, I think, when you're out in the country, you inevitably do some stupid shit just to burn time. Fuck it. There's no
because you're bored.
Right.
there's you don't have no theme parks. We ain't hell, we barely have a movie theater, like
Right. Right.
But yeah, you gotta find things to fill your time.
Right.
And it usually leads to getting fucked up on something. Yeah. It fills time very well,
It does.
unfortunately.
It does. It's definitely a part of the culture, and it's something that I still embrace to this day, amazingly enough. Having lived in New York City and 14 apartments or whatever it's been in and around different boroughs and whatnot. But I still have a little bit of like Southeast Louisiana left of me,
Yeah.
I'm still fucking loud and talk shit and like getting crazy and wild.
Can take you out of the woods. Can't take the woods out of you.
I
right?
guess
Yeah.
that's what happened, man. Jesus Christ. Well, speaking of the cicada tree, before we went off on UFOs, cicadas' life cycle, and hallucinogenic experiences, you joined the band. You record that album. Was it? I'm assuming there was it was a process of writing new material. Was that tough at all for you to acclimate to that style, or do you feel like you were fit right in?
No, yeah, I mean, I think it's because I was familiar with a lot of the music. Like I said, I've been listening to the band, so I was able to, for the past music, going in and learning the songs that they wanted to play live, I was already really familiar with it.
Yeah.
And my playing was already similar to that, a heavy style and everything. Matt Wolf, amazing drummer, like some of the parts he wrote it's hard to play, You have to go over it a couple of times, figure it out, see what the hell it was that he done.
Right.
But, I feel like it was fairly smooth for me.
Yeah.
Fairly smooth. It'd take me to get a song good enough to play in front of a crowd like 2 weeks.
Right.
So I don't know what other people's time schedules are, but for me, working a full-time job, I feel like that was, smooth.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you have to rehearse your ass off both with them and outside of it around your job to really feel like you were locking down parts? Or?
Well, yeah, like whenever I first joined the band, there's OJ came up with a master set list.
Right.
It was like 20 songs, and it's, like, no rush, this is what we want to play. Learn it, as you learn it. And I did. Like, I'd get off work at 5 or 6, and where I live, the house is real close together, so I try to stop playing by 8 or 8:30.
Right.
So I'd come straight home from work. I'd go straight down the basement, And when I joined the band, it was winter.
Shit.
And trying out was winter, December, January. So getting down there, it's fucking freezing. And,
yeah.
I just get down there and just start playing just to get warmed up. And,
yeah.
So I guess in that way, it was a struggle.
Right. Yeah.
To force myself after, 10-hour work day, go down there and play for the next 2 hours in a freezing cold basement.
Right.
But, it's been all worth it.
Yeah.
It's been all worth it.
Well, it's a hell of a record, man. It's really cool. It's a funny story. I actually heard it being played over the PA here at the bar where we are talking, St. Vitus, where y'all are playing later tonight. And I thought for a second it was one of the more melodic vocal parts, and I actually thought that maybe it was Queensryche that I was hearing. Mm-hmm. Does OJ ever get that, the vocalist? Like any connection to Jeff Tate, the singer of Queensryche, the original singer?
I don't know if he's got that one specifically, but I'm pretty sure he does listen to them. So I would imagine that subconsciously that would come out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you recorded the drums, how long did it take you to record them all for that record?
It was the whole recording process, from what I understand, because I wasn't a part of their previous recording processes. They would always do like the drums first, all of
course.
them. Take like a week or like 10 days, and then do each thing.
Right.
This time they done it different. Jay Hannon, the producer of the album, he lives in South Carolina.
Uh-huh.
He actually came up here for a month, so we tried to do everybody in that month. And
live? Like recording live, basically?
Yeah, like we done all the rhythms.
Yeah.
All the drums and bass.
Yeah.
In Charleston.
Okay.
And he came up and stayed for a month to do that, and we done it differently because of my job. I had to come into town, on the weekends. I would come up, Saturday, stay till Sunday night or whatever, and just do as much as I can in 2 days. So in that sense, it took a month to record the album, but really I think it took me about 11 days.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's trippy, man? Y'all do Servitude from Fishbone off the Give a Monkey a Brain record.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to see Fishbone? Like I saw them saw them on that tour for that record and saw them play that song live.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking killer, man.
And I love that song too. It was the perfect cover for us because it translates. It almost sounds like a Byzantine song.
It does. Yeah.
It really does. Like the leads and everything.
Of course.
Like really reminiscent of some Byzantine leads, so it fit really well, I thought.
I dig it, man.
It was a good cover.
Fish was one of my favorite drummers growing up, man.
Yeah.
I was see those guys live and listen to their records, and I tried to emulate the hell out of him. Those records in the 90s and everything, man. Fishbone was a fucking juggernaut. What a crazy-ass band.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that of all bands that y'all got a cover from them.
Yeah. I mean, and it, like I said, this turned out so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds great.
It really did, yeah.
Right on.
Well, and the Doors cover turned out good, too, I thought. It was really nice. I've always liked to take, like classic songs and put a rock twist or metal twist on them. It's always kind of been my thing. I like to do that. But doing that song was Hendo's idea.
Okay.
Yeah, that was all him. Actually, the Cars cover is the first track on any Byzantine discography that doesn't have OJ on it at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's not nowhere on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting little fact, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man. Well, we didn't even mention it, but once you got the gig, you didn't realize that Byzantine had actually signed with Metal Blade Records.
No, yeah. So, yeah, it was awesome because I'm going to get to join a band I've been listening to, and I was going through about a 2-year period of having nobody to play metal with anyways.
Right.
Like I said, I was playing like jam band funk shit, which is all good because I probably made decent money doing it. You know, it's instead of having 4 bands on one bill, you just go in and take up the whole night.
Right.
So, but you have that urge to play a certain style of music, and metal happens to be that for me. That's just the way I play. That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
So it was cool just to find people to do that with.
Right.
Not only find people to do that with, but find an established band that I've been
great.
listening to.
Yeah.
And then it was after I was told that I got the gig, they was like, oh, and I've been talking to Metal Blade.
By the way.
Yeah. No big deal.
Right. That's awesome.
So yeah, it was cool. It was surreal.
Right on.
A lot to take in.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah.
Well, shit, man. Congratulations on the record. What do y'all have going on for the rest of the year, man?
We have a couple big shows coming up. One, I don't think I can say anything about yet. It's not made official,
Okay.
but we have a Lamb of God and Behemoth show coming up in North Carolina. We don't have any tours as of yet.
Okay.
They've been working on it, but nothing's came about. But we're doing some headlining weekend gigs that OJ sets up himself and everything.
Okay.
Make a couple bucks because we're just sitting at home doing jack shit anyways. So might as well be out here doing something.
I hear you.
Yeah, but hopefully maybe something will pop up in the fall.
Right on.
I think we done missed the spring summer stuff.
Yeah. Right on.
But,
okay. Well, shit, man. Thanks for coming to New York. I look forward to seeing y'all play tonight. And if I make it down to West Virginia, I don't know if you like whitewater rafting or not, but if you want to get the shit scared out of you.
I was going to say, that might be one thing that I've not done in West Virginia with some whitewater rafting.
Let's go, man. We'll take acid and we'll go whitewater rafting.
You want to come on with West Virginia, I'll go with you.
All right. Right on, Matt. Good talking to you, man.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt and the Byzantine crew, for being so cool and accommodating, and for really being one of the bigger secrets kept out there in the world of the metals. If Byzantine rolls through your town, you got to go check them out. Shit was killer. A whole lot of killer grooves, killer riffs, all the good stuff. All right, y'all. Next time, Crash Bang Boom.